Accepting new roles opened unexpected doors, leading to paid adventures and career growth.
Dress me, get me out the bed. I said, and I didn't have a job then. I said, okay. So every morning I would go to his house. He had a sliding board. I learned how to transform. He had a shower. We could put him in his wheelchair, get him dressed, and then I would take him to this Department of Rehab. It was right there on J Street on the K Street Mall, not on K Street Mall. Take him to work, take his van back home, and I'd come back and pick him up at 5. And I would see friends that I went to school. They would call me Link, because you remember Ironside, how he had that van with the lift in the back, and they would see me riding around talking, hey, Link. But it gets better. Right before the student internship was going to be in the summer, right before the summer he called me and said, Lamont, would you still be interested in the student internship? I said, yes. He said, because the student has a grave illness, he's not going to be able to take the position. I said, oh, thank you. So he said, but would you also be willing to be my attendant? I said, yeah, because I still could do both, right? You in college, you're trying to hustle to make some money, right? So I changed my schedule. So I worked for him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, took classes Tuesday, Thursday. Now here's where it gets good. He was a part of an advisory board, one at USF in San Francisco, had this rehab department, and one in Fresno. So when I would drive him, I'm on the rate as an attendant. When we are in meetings from 8 to 5, I'm on the rate as a student. But guess what? After 5, so from 5 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the clock being paid for sleeping, for doing nothing, because there's nothing to do once I get him in bed. Right. So what if I would have said no to being the attendant? So saying yes to being the attendant opened up that door, but it also opened up the door for me to be, and I worked for him for like 2 years. When I graduated, he said, well, I'd like to hire you. I said, well, no, I'm going to go to grad school, so I'm not going to. And the first time I went on a cruise, he and his wife went to go, so he took me, paid me to be his attendant, $1,000. What they going to do on the cruise? I don't mean it like that, but they're not going to do that much on the cruise. So I would roll him out in his hit one of them electric chairs. I would roll him out, he'd sit on the deck. So he didn't do that much. And then when it was time for our meals, I would take him. The rest of the time, I'm like fancy free on the cruise ship. So the first cruise I went on was because of him.